In the deepest part of the whispering forest, where sunlight barely touched the ground, lived a cunning fox named Rango. He was quick-witted, smooth-talking, and always scheming, using his charm to trick other animals. His lies were like honey, sweet at first, but poisonous to those who believed them. None dared challenge him, for his sharp tongue was feared more than claws. But perched on a high branch was Tikki, a small but wise sparrow who watched in silence. Tikki believed that truth, no matter how small, could defeat any lie. She had seen Rango fool many, stealing food, cheating others, and spreading false tales. The forest animals suffered quietly, hoping someone would stop him. Tikki knew that someone had to rise, not with strength, but with honesty. And so, the first whisper of change stirred in the forest leaves. One sunny afternoon, Rango found a rare patch of golden berries hidden under a thorn bush. He knew they were delicious, but instead of sharing, he plotted a trick. Calling a young squirrel and a timid hedgehog, he said, "These berries are magical. They will make you wiser, but only if I feed them to you myself," he lied. As the creatures closed their eyes in trust, he only pretended to feed them. Then, behind their backs, he gobbled every berry greedily, licking his lips. The squirrel left confused, the hedgehog still hopeful, never knowing the truth. Above, Tikki fluttered her wings with quiet anger. "Deceit has a sweet voice," she whispered, "but it always leaves a bitter trail." She knew it was time to speak up, but wisely, and at the right moment. Later that week, Rango spotted old Moko, the turtle with a cracked shell. "Friend," he said, "a magic pond lies just beyond the hill. It heals all wounds." "But," Rango continued slyly, "you must leave your healing herbs with me first." Desperate for relief, Moko agreed and crawled away hopeful. But beyond the hill, there was no pond, only thorns and snake holes. Moko barely escaped with his life, heartbroken and betrayed. Rango, meanwhile, traded the herbs to badgers for shiny stones. Tikki, watching from above, felt her feathers bristle in fury. "The forest cannot breathe when its air is filled with lies," she said softly. She began calling a secret meeting, where truth would finally rise. That night, under a silver moon, Tikki summoned the forest's silent voices. The deer, the rabbits, even the owls came, hoping, fearing, waiting. She spoke, "Rango's lies bloom in silence. But if we speak truth, his roots will wither." Her voice, though small, carried strength. Truth needs no claws, only courage. The animals murmured, some uncertain, some inspired. But behind a bush, Rango listened, his smirk returning. "She's clever," he whispered, "but not clever enough to beat me." He plotted his biggest lie yet, a performance that would fool them all. But Tikki's faith was not in trickery, but in the strength of belief. "The forest will choose truth," she told herself. "It always does, eventually." The next day, Rango cried out, "Help! A fire! My den is burning." He smeared his fur with ash and laid twigs nearby to prove it. The forest animals rushed, bringing water, leaves, and mud. But when they arrived, they found no fire, only Rango's laughter. "Fools," he chuckled, "you're too easy to fool. Your kindness is weakness." He took their food as payment for the help, and walked away smug. But this time, the crowd didn't laugh. Their eyes turned to Tikki. "I warned you," she said gently, "truth always catches fire faster than lies." A silence spread, not fear, but awakening. The animals were no longer blind. The forest gathered at the base of the great oak, the tree of decisions. Tikki took her place at the top, chosen for her honesty and wisdom. Rango, feigning sorrow, said, "I only tricked to survive. Isn't survival natural?" But one by one, animals came forward with stories of betrayal. The squirrel, the hedgehog, the turtle, all spoke their truth. Tikki said, "Lies may help you eat for a day, but they starve the soul." Even the youngest rabbit, barely old enough to speak, said, "He made my mother cry." For the first time, Rango had no words, no tricks, no lies to hide behind. Truth stood taller than his cleverness. And the forest chose to act. The forest didn't hurt Rango, but it no longer welcomed him. He was asked to leave, to find a new home far from those he betrayed. He walked through the forest paths he once ruled, now lined with silence. No one waved, no one followed, not even the wind. Tikki, from above, watched quietly. She felt no joy in his fall. Her heart was not made for revenge, only justice. The forest breathed freely again, its wounds beginning to heal. Trust returned, slowly, branch by branch. And the leaves whispered a new song, one of truth. Rango faded into the trees, his legacy now a lesson. The forest became a place of light, where lies no longer bloomed. Animals helped each other not out of fear, but friendship. The young learned Tikki's tale, the tale of truth and courage. And at the center of every gathering sat a single empty stump, Rango's reminder. Tikki flew above, watching not with pride, but with peace. She knew truth was not easy, but it was worth every risk. No one feared tricks anymore, because they now knew better. Even the wind felt lighter, no longer carrying deceit. The forest had changed, not through strength, but through honesty. And in the heart of the leaves, a song echoed, "Truth shall always rise." Glowing star moral of the story. Truth may be small and quiet, but it is stronger than the loudest lie. Even the cleverest trick will fail when honesty stands tall.